Hello, mate, and welcome to Puzzle Combat, where you match three pieces, find yourself a hero with some superpowers, and destroy the enemy. Make as many alliances as you can, and win the game.
Howdy Puzzle Combaters, it's still Catterday here. Hope everyone is well. Alright, so back with another closer look video. I was gonna cover Miss Famke here. Military contractor with a cool shoulder tattoo. Alright, so I'm not a huge fan of this hero, but she does have her uses. Now, in the beginning, Small Giant had her only covering herself and allies beside her, just like Jacob. So it was a very useless special at that time. It didn't honestly do much. So thankfully they buffed her, and she has become a little bit better. So her special is kind of reflective of this guy, her and Jacob in the beginning. The caster and nearby allies, that's all they helped. And they were very difficult to use, to the point where I think most people just started using them as food or sat them on the bench and never bothered with them. Which was understandable, because this guy is useless. This guy is food. His only use is food. Food, 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 and more food. So hopefully this guy gets buffed in the future like Jacob and Famke did. So we'll see. So that certainly did add to the special and make it a little bit better by covering all allies. So the plus 82 attack for 3 turns. And then the enemy is getting minus 65 attack for 3 turns is certainly handy. Now, the buff removal, that's awesome, and I personally think that's probably the best thing about her. Because there's just not enough buff dispellers in the game. There's not. So this is handy, absolutely. There's some of the new zombies that were just released that do some buff dispelling, so that is very cool that they added some more of those, because there's lots of cleansers, not lots of buff dispellers though. Okay, so let's get into her actual hero rating, and that is a B-. I thought she was a C rated hero. I don't know, I find that high. But she's, like I say, I'm not a fan of her, but I know people do use her, and she does have her uses, which we'll get into, so. Alright. She's got only a 2 on defense, though. Terrible to put this one on defense. Just like Jacob's terrible to put on defense. He's not a defensive hero, but if those are your options to use when you're first getting started, by all means. They're just not made for defensive positions. They are made as offensive heroes, both her and Jacob, so. And that's, again, where she shines, so that's probably why she got the B- rating and not any lower, is because she's got a 3 out of 5 on both offense and the War Machine. And that's thanks in part to the attack up option that she gives to the other heroes on your team. So, alright, talent grid. So she's support class. There's a lot of good heroes in this support class, though. I certainly would not put emblems on her. She rides the bench pretty much now on my team here. And in my alt account, I don't even think I put any levels on her. I might have. I think I put a few levels because I needed her for the emblem quests. But she won't be leveled in that account, and more than likely I'll end up feeding her away at some point when she ends up riding the bench, like she does here. But I haven't been willing to feed away any fully leveled heroes yet in this account, so she'll continue to ride the bench for a while, I think. Alright, combat assistance and protection. So she does the withstand. Yeah, that's just like Rover last night when I taped that closer look on Rover. So the withstand. And that ends up being 30% to withstand the status ailments. If you go this far in on the talent grid, which again, I think she's a waste of resources overall. However, like I say, she does have her uses. So, being a support hero, she already has attack up. If I was to put emblems on her, I think I would want to keep her alive longer. Because even when I have tried to use her on events, mostly, is when I've tried to use her, she didn't seem to last very long. So I would probably want to give her some more health and defense, personally. Now, it would be nice to have a bit more of an attack up than the 82%, I think that it said it was, but yeah, I don't know. Whenever I did use her on events and that, she didn't last long enough for my liking. And then critical chance, 2% there. And all the way at the end is the speed bonus. Pardon me. Alright, so that speed is 4%. And she's an average hero. So this is just like the Rover breakdown, where this would still leave her in the same category, because average, she's at the break point. 49 and 50 is one of the break points. So she's already into that category where it's 10 tiles to charge her. So that would leave her at 52-ish, that speed bonus. And she'd be still in that same average category of 10 impacted tiles to charge and 5 ghosted. So I don't know that speed option's gonna help her. There is some of the speed weapons that would, though. So we'll run through those and see what weapons options help this lady out. And Master Weapon event is still on. Look at that, I clicked on the right one this time. Okay, so there's the mammoth that is burn. Now, her special does help the allies, however, she isn't an attacking hero, so the attacking weapons won't necessarily do her any good. So this would be better off if in a yellow stack on a different yellow hero. Martha. So the chance to hit through, dodge or blinding, and then the critical chance. So on offense, she would benefit from the critical chance, or the tiles would benefit from the critical chance if this weapon was on her. Again, though, you'd probably want this on a striking hero in a yellow stack, because Famke does not strike. So you want the defensive weapons on her, like this one. That's the field aid, the health gain, 30 health points per turn. And yeah, that's not a bad option to put on her. Like I said, I always found that she was kind of flimsy and sort of died first. And then the Bronco. And that is another health gain of 40 points per turn. So that's cool. And then 238 for attack and 228 for defenses. So if that was your option, that's a pretty good defensive weapon to put on her. So that's cool. Okay, so I think the only yellow one I have is that Pinnacle, which I already showed there, of Master Weapons. So let's get into these ones. So this was a Weapon of the Month, a former Weapon of the Month, the only one that I have. So if you have to use her on defense, this is a good one with the dodge. This is a great combination overall because you've got the speed and the dodge, so that's awesome. Now, the speed points, though, won't help her. So she's at 50. That only puts her at 56, and 58 is the next breakpoint to make her a fast hero. So that, unfortunately, does not help her. If it's on offense that you're putting this weapon, you're probably better off putting it on other yellow heroes that it does benefit from. That do benefit from it and get into that next breakpoint and drop a tile off charging. So even if she was, if she was at 52 because you took her all the way to the end of the talent grid, then she would be 58 and she would be fast. But that is a hell of a lot of resources to spend on a hero that isn't worth those emblems in the end, let alone the metal and the food that you got to put into it just to make her a little bit faster. So that would drop a tile off and she'd be 9 tiles to charge and 5 ghosted. Too pricey. Too pricey to go all the way down to 20 in the talent grid with her. Just to give her that extra speed option. Alright, so this is a good one for offense because you'll get the health bonus points, 95, so that's cool. Because she needs them, and the 26% critical chance for tile damage. That's a good one. I like that combination too in that weapon. Alright, I don't have the other 5-star yellows, so we'll just peruse the summon gate here for the other ones. I can't even remember what they are. I keep getting talons. I've actually ended up sacrificing 2 talons, I think. I've got 4 altogether. Oh yeah, I sacrificed this one too. I did get this one from the weaponsmith. So you got the critical chance and then the armor, which is blah. Blah blah. Critical chance for offense, though, is cool. And the 5-star weapons, let's face it, they're hard to get unless you're paying to win or paying to play. And so you got to make use of what you get with the 5-star weapons, that's for sure. So good one for defense here. 33% chance resistance on the roadblock. 13% armor damage. Blah. Well, that's not a terrible attack stat either. The defenses on that weapon's a little bit low though. And I believe that's it. Yeah, because there's the talon. Okay, and the rest are in my inventory. So Scrum, I like this one. Critical chance for offense. And then you got the Liquefier, which is dodge for defense. Absolutely, that would help her out on defense. And if you do put her in defense, she's best off on the left-hand wing. So her special fires off first before the rest of your heroes do, and that way they get to take advantage of the attack up before they hit. Alright, speed points here of 7. And she's 50, that's only going to put her at 57. That will not get her into the next breakpoint. However, if you have Rex or Aiko or something like that, somebody like that on your team, they do benefit from this weapon and drop a tile and will charge up faster. So better off to have the speed weapon on one of them in a yellow stack. And then there's the Pinnacle again for health. And then the SWAT's only 3 points, so it doesn't benefit her at all either. The Berserk, though, is resistance and can help her resist status ailments that may kill her, so that's not a bad defensive stat for a 3-star weapon either. So that's pretty good. There you go. Alright, so I think that covers all the yellow weapons. Now, the event's still on, so it's gonna take her in. Of course, I don't have flags. Alright, let's do a raid, even though it's cooldown already. That's okay. I'm just doing a revenge anyway. It just means I won't get trophies. Oh yeah, you know what? We're all gonna be reset, and if somebody's online, you can't raid them now. Not until people get back up to diamond. Yeah, I'm not hitting that. Oh, Goldman annoys me. Should I? Alright, let's. Gonna make sure I put a defensive weapon on her, though. Or I might probably put a critical chance weapon on her. Now, the Talon's good. That is critical chance, and that'll give her a little bit of a health boost, too. Okay, what else do we got on the team here? So I need a purple, and I need a blue. Alright. Purple. Blue. Alright, let's go raiding with her and see. So she isn't bad for the war machine. Like, you set it up where you can have energy drinks and bring in some health kits. And you could probably keep her alive for the whole battle. I'd imagine she's quite handy for the lower war machines in a yellow stack. She probably helps kill it for the purple war machines, because the attack down would really help with the war machine, because then it's not killing off your heroes as quickly because it's attack down. Plus, she's got the buff dispelling and then the attack up for your heroes. So I'd imagine she's quite handy for that. These are not the color tiles I want to see, though, against a coyote tank. Yikes. There we go. Now we got some yellow in there. And that buff dispelling would come in handy against the counter-attackers, because you see a lot of Ranas and Flints when you're first starting out, so the buff dispelling would come in handy for that. When you're doing raids or you're doing war hits. I can honestly say we don't see a lot. In this account, I don't see a lot of Rana and Flint tanks anymore. But that's just the nature of it. I still see a lot of them in my alt account. Because we're against teams that have a lot more 5-star heroes finished now at this point, and just peeps that have been playing longer. Right on! Good girl, Umbra. Damn, I love that special. Alright, let's see if I can finally get Famke charged here. Alright, now we gotta attack up on my heroes. Good, good. And they got attack down. Haha. And they still got attacked down. Right to the end of the battle in this case. So that was handy. That's alright. It's a good combination. Speed up with Jocasta special there too. Alright, so I didn't win any trophies, but that's okay. Yeah, so yeah, even though I'm not a fan of Famke, she's obviously got her uses, and yeah, quite handy for the buff dispelling when you're first leveling up. So I just wouldn't do that again. My alt account has 2 Jonahs, which is why I didn't level her again in the other account either. Like, Jonah's an A-rated yellow hero, just a lot better for a lot of different reasons, but yeah, Famke is still a usable hero and definitely has her perks, guys. So up to you if you want to put the resources into her. Alright guys, again, happy Catter Day. Take care, be well.